Okay, so this is starting with the Mondo release workflow. So there's just a note here that while the release is running, don't shut your laptop down or switch between repositories or branches in GitHub desktop, as this will stop the release. There's this normalization step that you should do before the release, and I've already done this and I'm not going to do it on this video, but it's very straightforward, just to normalize the ontology after any bulk changes. It's a good idea to do this before the release. So just run this command, shrun make norm when you're in the Mondo repository in your terminal, and then this will take about 30 seconds or so to run, and then run this command move norm mondo edit.obo, and that'll occur instantly, and then move the changes. You'll have changes in GitHub desktop. Move these to a new branch, and then create a pull request and wait for the pull request to pass on GitHub, and then merge the pull request and continue with the release. So the next step is to prepare the release, do a Docker pull. So I just did that in this window here, and this took about a minute or so to do. And then you can go into GitHub desktop and pull master. And then I'm going to run, I'm already in the Mondo folder, so I'm going to run this. So this is the command to run the release. So just copy and paste this command in, and it'll take maybe up to an hour. After you've run the release, go to the terminal and make sure you see that it says release finished. So looking here, I see that the release finished. It's all done, so that all worked. And then open mondo.owl and mondo.obo and check the latest changes and make sure everything looks reasonable. So navigate to the source ontology folder and open mondo.owl and mondo.obo. So I have these open here, and I just want to check to make sure that something I added is included. So this term was added in this last month. So this is a new term that was added, and I checked for it here in the .owl file, and in the .obo file I see this term. If you need to remember what was changed, we can go back to an old pull request. So here's a pull request I did where I added a bunch of new terms from OMIM, so I just need to check and make sure these are here. It looks like everything looks okay. So I see it here. So this all looks good. So go back to the instructions. The next step is run this command. So do that in the terminal and wait for that to finish. We did the prepare release direct. Review this file, Mondo release diff md. So if you go to the Finder and just search for that, then you can open this with text editor. We don't want this to go into the release notes, but just check that, make sure everything looks reasonable. New terms, we did an OMIM slurp, so that seems reasonable. Change labels, change definitions, etc. You can also do packages, markdown preview, toggle preview, see what it looks like in markdown. So this looks reasonable, so I think this is okay. So next we want to review the text and delete it from the file if there's no suspicious output. So that looks okay, so just delete all that. Save. And then we want to bring this all to a branch, call it release, the date. Bring all the changes to a branch, and then commit the changes to the branch, release 2022-05-02, and do a pull request. Create the pull request. And wait for QC to pass, and then we'll merge. we did the steps where we merged the PR, and then the initial setup I've already done, so I'm not going to do this. So I did the steps to deploy the release. So this login is not necessary every single time, so I'm skipping that this time. And I ran these commands, copy token here, and then make GitHub version and the release date here. This took half an hour or so to run. So be very careful to put in the correct date, in the correct format. So 2022-7/1 is today. And this ran and came to the end. And then check the release pages in the link. So I don't think you actually have to replace the date. So just go to this link and look at this. And this should say, ensure that it says name, release this 1 day ago or now or whatever it was done. So this is the right date. I drafted this 42 minutes ago. That's all correct. And then go down. I don't think I need to save the draft. There's nothing to save. And then, it's the wrong place. Ensure it has all the release artifacts attached to it. There should be 19 in the draft. So yes, there's 19 assets here. And then check the file to ensure you see the expected changes. So open mondo.obo and mondo.owl. So if I look at these, and here's an example of a term I changed where I relabeled the term. So if I look at that, it looks fine. That's the owl file. Look at the obo file. Yep, I see that. Looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to write the description of the release, so add the release description to the releases tab. So that's basically just right here. I'm going to edit this. And I have this open from when we looked at the Mondo release diff. So add that here. And then I want to go to change, here, click Save Draft. Add the same summary to changes.md, so open that here. I don't know why I can't view it here, that's strange. I'll go look at it and add Mondo. It should be on this top level folder, like this. Changes.md. Okay, and then I'll add today's stuff. Copy this from last time. Paste in the header with today's date. Save. I see this changed in GitHub. It's weird. It is now in GitHub desktop for some reason. It was just taking a second. So I'm just going to update the changes to changes.md and commit this to master. Okay, now that's done. And then back to the instructions. Okay, and then click on Publish Release. So if we go back here, we have all the commit notes and stuff. Okay, Publish Release. And it's done. And then the last thing to do is so the obsolescence candidates should be here. And there's a lot this time. Yeah, this looks right. We're gonna obsolete a lot of classes from grouping classes that we don't want, and some others. And send out an email to the Mondo users and include a cat picture. And that's all.